Okay, today we're going to be installing a high visibility impact Colonial shutter. We're going to be installing it in the window right behind me. Take a look here at the shutter. I have two panels, a left and a right, that are going to swing over closed and close with a storm bar. Okay, these are the tools that are required. We've got our electric drill. We're going to be using two drills here. You don't need two drills, but we're going to be using two to speed the operation along. 3/8 drill bit, tape measure, 1/4 inch drill bit, box cutter, our pencil, our level. We have a ledger board also that we're going to be using today. Step number one, we're going to lay the two shutters out on the ground in front of the window. We're going to go ahead and cut them out of the bubble wrap. Okay, once the shutters are out of the plastic, we're going to attach these storm bar clips. If we're using one storm bar in this case, you're going to have 4 storm bar clips that get attached to the back of the shutter. Okay, we're going to put our storm bar clips over the jack nuts that are permanently anchored into your shutter. We're going to go ahead and use these 3/4 inch screws and tighten them down in place. Okay, your order came with in this case, 1 storm bar. We're using 1 storm bar to close it off. That's bubble wrapped separately. We're going to go ahead and cut it out of the bubble wrap. And we're going to put it in place across the storm bar clips. Okay, the storm bar is in place. You were provided in your box with 2 hold back angle clips. These are going to hold the shutters open against the wall when the shutter is in the open position. We're going to use them now to space the shutters and make sure that our gap is not too small or too big when the 2 panels come together. So I'm just going to drop these right in between, above the bar and below the bar. And we push the shutter together, and that'll create the perfect space once it's closed on the wall. Okay, storm bars in place, shutters are spaced perfectly. We're now going to take our electric drill with our 3/8 drill bit. You're provided with a through bolt and a washered wing nut. Through bolt's about 2 3/4 inches long. A washered wing nut's going to go on the bottom. We're going to go ahead and drill out the holes now between the storm bar clips and the storm bar. Okay, I drilled my hole and I penetrated just one side of the 1x2 tube. I'm going to drill the other hole coming in from the other side to make sure if I'm drilling at an angle or anything, the holes on the clips are perfectly lined up. So I drill the first hole in from one side, and then I jump around to the other side of the shutter and drill the other hole. Go ahead and cut it. Okay, we're going to slide the bolt through the storm bar clip and put the washered wing nut on the other side. Just go ahead and tighten that down. And once this is locked in place, we can go ahead and drill out the other side or just work our way down. Just keep in mind you want to check your spacing every now and again and make sure the two shutters haven't shifted or moved. Good. Okay, your shutter came with 4 hinges. Sometimes they'll come with more, just depending on how big the shutter is. For this size opening, we've got 2 hinges on the left and 2 on the right. We're going to go ahead now, and while we've got the shutter on the ground, put the hinges on. Okay, with your order, you were provided a 4.5-inch bolt. This bolt's going to hold the hinge from the wall to the hinge to the shutter. I'm going to go ahead and start putting those on like this now. We have a special lock nut that goes on this side. We can just go ahead and hand tighten them like that. And then with a 9/16 wrench and a pair of pliers, we can just go ahead and tighten it down. Your hinges for the wall will be underneath the hinges riveted to the shutter. This takes about 3 turns, 4 turns to lock that in place. Okay, we're ready now to stand the shutter up, and we're about ready to hang it on the wall. We're going to take a measurement of the shutter. In this case, it's 43 inches. We're going to take a measurement of our window, 38 inches. Okay, that means the shutter is 5 inches bigger than the window, so we're going to split the difference, 2.5 inches of the shutter underneath, 2.5 inches of the shutter above. Okay, we're going to find our center point on the window, 37 inches wide. Center line is 18.5. And we're going to measure down 2.5 inches. And this is where we're going to put the top of our ledger board that we're going to sit our shutter. Okay, we're going to lift our board now that we're using, our ledger board, up to the wall. Go ahead and put it up here like this. We're going to put our level on it. Make sure we've got a good level area to work with. And then we're going to go ahead and drill drill a hole out and run a screw into the... Okay, now we're going to run 2 tap cons that were provided with the order into the wall to lock it in place. Okay, we've got our ledger board in place and level. If you'd like, you can go ahead and transfer the center point of the window, which was 18.5, to the ledger board. And then we're going to go ahead and pick the Colonial shutter up and line it up center of the Colonial shutter with the center mark on the ledger board. Okay, with the shutter now on the ledger board, we're going to make sure our hinges are squared up here on all 4 sides. We're looking pretty good. We're going to go ahead and mark out our 2 top holes for drilling. The bottom holes. We're going to take the shutter off the wall and go ahead and drill out our hole. Okay, we picked our shutter back up and set it on the ledger board, lined everything back up. We're now going to go ahead and attach the shutter to the structure. Okay, your shutter is now secure and up. We're going to go ahead and take the ledger board off and take our storm bar. Okay, we're now going to put our holdbacks on the wall. We're going to take our storm bar bolt. We're going to just drop it through. Get it lined up. We're going to go ahead and mark it. Go ahead and drill it out now and we'll finish up. And that's it. If you have any questions, give us a call at 888-474-3555. I hope you've enjoyed the video.